Peter Dawson's positive approach and iron-willed determination has been his trademark to success for over 4 decades in the Alberta construction industry. It's an attitude that he has instilled in himself and his employees to great effect.
I think that Peter is a very effective leader, and I think what really makes him stand out as an effective leader is a great ability to listen carefully, process what he hears very carefully, and then if we're lucky, he'll share his thoughts on whatever the subject is, because typically Peter's feedback is important because he's processed the information very well.
That's EFIS here as well. I wonder what the soffit is though.
Yeah, and then metal cladding around the penthouse.
Peter's probably best attribute is he's a people person, and people like to work with him, work for him. His employees like him, the trades like him, and the clients like him.
He's very hardworking. He's very driven. He's very well liked and personable, and he has a tremendous amount of respect throughout the construction industry. I think all of those qualities come together to make Peter who he is professionally.
Yeah. And Wayne, you got an idea when he's going to stop in?
Yeah, he'll be starting.
Once you don't really see him ever lose his temper or ever really have too many highs and lows. I mean, they're obviously in construction, a lot of things you can't control. Things are going to go wrong. Things are going to, make you upset. But he just seems to be able to maintain that even keel.
He's always created a relaxed atmosphere and very personal atmosphere at work.
Peter's amazing journey began in 1948 in the UK. The son of an Air Force pilot and a school teacher, Peter and his family moved to Australia when he was only 3 years old.
It's rare to see him stressed, and it's rare to see him mad. And I think that's maybe his Aussie upbringing.
In 1974, Peter decided to cross the ocean and make the big move to Fort McMurray, Alberta. He worked as an engineer for Syncrude before joining Rick Forrest and the Forrest Construction Company in 1979. It was there that Peter also met his eventual business partner, Wayne Wallace. Despite his strong relationships at Forrest Construction, Peter decided to go solo in 1986, forming Dawson Projects.
I had actually left Colt Engineering, had joined Camel Construction, and so we had mutual friends at the time that introduced us again, or reintroduced us again, when he moved to Edmonton. And so I think Rick Forrest had a significant impact on how Peter managed construction, or got to learn the business from a different perspective.
Peter and Wayne Wallace began their lengthy and incredibly successful partnership together in September 1987. Their first project was a modest one, the building of a fence. Collectively, the pair then set a goal to become the best medium-staged commercial and industrial contractor.
It was actually over a golf game. He and I were chatting, and we said, well, we can do this, can't we? And we both said, yeah, we think we can. And 2 or 3 months later, we decided that we would start our own business. So he and I formed the business in October of 1987. So 28 years ago.
I remember when they started up, and I heard about the fence building, that was their first project, but when they built Summit Center for me in 91, 92, that was a small project, but they were still at $10 million, $12 million a year construction company. And I remember when they went to 20 million and Peter was ecstatic. And now look at them, they're over $300 million, and he hasn't changed. He's the same guy that he ever was.
Dawson Wallace became giants in the Edmonton construction landscape. In fact, they're responsible for building some of the city's greatest retail and shopping complexes.
It's incredible when you drive around the city, even myself only being there 10 years, not even accounting the stuff that was built in the almost 20 years prior to that. You can't go more than 5 minutes without passing a site that we've done, right? So it's pretty neat to drive around and just say, oh yeah, we built that, we built that, we built that. So you can really actually physically see the contribution, I guess, in terms of the growth of the city that we've had. So.
Dawson Wallace's biggest break was securing the London Drugs contracts in Alberta and BC. They have now built and renovated over 25 London drug stores over the last 3 decades.
We've done stores for London Drugs on Vancouver Island, in the Lower Mainland, in Richmond, and certainly all over Alberta.
Dawson Wallace's unstoppable momentum continued with the construction of Jasper Gates in Edmonton's West End and the very first buildings at the massive South Edmonton Common.
Home Depot was a very, very good client. So we did the Home Depot, which was the first major project at South Edmonton Common. And since then, we've done 11 Home Depot stores in the province.
They've picked a good balance and kind of said, this is our maximum, this is where we want to be as a contractor. There has been times where we've peaked above that, and you just do your best to manage it, but I think they've done a good job of kind of establishing what size we want to be and trying to not have too many peaks and valleys above that.
Despite his tremendous success in this business, he's never lost his down-to-earth personality and his authenticity. He's one of those general good guys.
Hi, Pete Dawson here.
His integrity is second to none. He has always looked after our best interests on every project that he's done for us. And on the rare occasion when something does go awry, he's always stepped up and made it right without fail.
He's got a ton of respect within the business community, and I think it's just based on relationships he's developed with people, the way he treats people.
Do that final report, except that one you're missing? Just the one from Calgary?
Yeah.
Peter's presence on various construction boards over the years have proven to be fruitful. He served on the Edmonton Construction Association board for 10 years, including as president in 2001. He also served on both the ECA and the CCA boards, helping get the Lean Act reduced to 10%, an important achievement for the industry.
Peter's long served the construction industry not only in Edmonton but in all of Alberta by contributing not only as a builder but on the boards of the Edmonton Construction Association and the Alberta Construction Association. And I know that through a lot of his efforts, the industry has been improved.
Despite his incredibly busy schedule, Peter has always been aware of the importance of balance in his life. Peter enjoys spending time with his children and grandchildren. He also enjoys traveling the world, and his fondness for the game of golf is legendary.
He's got 2 holes in one. He's never seen them. They were in a blind hole that he didn't see the ball roll in, but he's had 2 hole-in-ones and had quite a celebration afterwards.
He's a great golfer. And he brings his same personality that he does to business to golf. He doesn't take it overly seriously. We have a lot of fun when we do play, but he is a very good golfer and he's very passionate about that. And he's passionate about travel as well. Young people in the construction industry could learn an awful lot from what Peter has done. He understands his business very well. He's very technical, he's very educated, he's very smart. And he's very, very hardworking, and he builds very good relationships with people. Those are great qualities.
Peter Dawson stands as a pillar of the Edmonton construction industry. His legacy, along with Dawson Wallace Construction, lives in multiple landmarks throughout Edmonton. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the latest recipient of the Claude Alston Lifetime Achievement Award, Mr. Peter Dawson.